Hey guys, welcome to Foundation of Greatness.
Yep, I'm Josh.
I'm Zalo.
Yep, so we're here for the Foundation of Greatness, where we started it to basically show people where we've came from, but nonetheless where other people have come from. So we're gonna have guests on throughout the whole shows. It's either gonna be us two, and then we're gonna have other guests or just us. So we're gonna have the podcast going. Check us out on YouTube. We're gonna have the video going. So yeah, you guys are gonna enjoy it. You know, I'm excited. We're here for the long haul. You know, keep the listeners engaged, keep the viewers engaged. You know, it's how we're gonna do it. So
yeah, provide a ton of value. We're gonna have, this is designed for entrepreneurs that want to take their business to the next level, or if you're just trying to get started, whatever the case may be. We're here to help you guys out, and yeah, we're excited to, like Josh said, one of many. So yeah, welcome.
Yeah, and please, if you guys have questions about anything about our content that we talk about, if it's real estate or even if it's our guests, please drop a comment with a question, or even email us, whatever it is. That way we can get these answered on other podcasts, other YouTube. Let's just keep the engagement going. Let's just keep it going. Also, please subscribe. You know, you guys won't be disappointed. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. So would you prefer to be called Z or Zalo?
Z. It's just easier. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. So let me ask you this. So how did you, what made you, tell me about you basically. Like, where did you come from, and what led you up to real estate? Like, what did you do before real estate? All that,
Yeah, so I was born in Mexico. I came to the U.S. when I was 15 years old, basically in high school. And yeah, it was tough, but it's great. It's great. Nice. I'm glad to be here. And I started real estate back in 2018. But before that, I had so many different jobs. My first job was at Albertsons bagging groceries.
Hey, yeah, we all have to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So worked my way up to produce, dairy, and then finally left that job and then got into sales at the age of 18.
So let me stop you there. So where in Mexico were you born?
I was born in a little town called Valle de Santiago, which is in Guanajuato, central Mexico. About 4 hours north of Mexico City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so more south, like central but south.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I've been down to like Tijuana. I've been to Tijuana. Everyone's been
picking
Tijuana.
up what over there?
Yeah, exactly. And then
what, dude?
We can't say it's podcast.
Right.
Yeah. No, so we went down there. We also went down to Ensenada.
Oh, nice. It's really nice over there.
When I like to travel, I like to basically keep it more like the culture, and I feel that was very touristy.
You immerse into the actual culture.
I love it. Yeah. And I love to. So when we do something like that, we'll go, and I don't like touristy spots. Like some spots we'll go to,
like
be tourists.
Or like Cancun, you don't like those places?
I've never been. So that's one place I want to go to is Cancun, because I've heard the water's beautiful, warm.
Yeah,
all that.
man, yeah.
One of my favorite places, not sure if you've heard, it's like wine country in Mexico, which is Valle Guadalupe.
No, I haven't. No, I've never been to. Yeah.
I'll tell you, I've had the best cheesecake over there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, no, it's surprising because you would never think you go to Mexico and you think there would be tres leches
tacos or something.
Yeah. But
the tres leches.
Yeah. But no, it was cheesecake, and I'll tell you, best cheesecake I've actually ever had.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Cheesecake, huh?
Yeah, and then they also served it with it was the coffee with what is it? It's the chocolate, but it's like. When for holidays, because my wife's Hispanic, so for holidays they make the hot chocolate and stuff like that. But so it was it's that special chocolate.
Atole maybe, chocolate.
I forget what it's called, but so they mix that with the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
man. No, it's great down there. Yeah,
I like Mexico. I actually was thinking about making that my second citizenship. So that way I can buy property.
Yeah. Dude, if you need to do it before you get it, let me know, because I can buy property over there. Do a citizenship.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
awesome.
So yeah, man. I mean, it's been cool. It's been great. And like I said, so I was in sales. I think I started in 2000. Well, so I moved to the U.S. in 1999. I was 17, 18 when I started sales. So selling cell phones. I think we talked about that, right? You did that too. Then I worked for Dell. And finally, in 2000, 9, I got a job as an account executive selling copiers.
Oh, dang.
And from there, I took, I started at the bottom, like, door to door knocking or whatever, just kind of like how we do here,
Yeah.
but it's business to business, right?
Exactly.
And yeah, man, I got promoted to sales manager and eventually ran a team of 25 salespeople across 10 states.
Jeez.
So that's what I've been doing for the last
That's
5
awesome.
years. And then got into real estate 2018, and we're here now, man, dominating.
So let me ask you this question. It might be a hard question, so it might take you a minute, or you might know the answer. So when you got into sales, what made you, because there's a lot of people that I come across, like either family members, whoever it is,
Yeah.
and sales sounds like a very intricate word or a very strong word when you say, oh, I'm a salesperson, or I know sales.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, oh, I can't sell anything, but a lot of people they can.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you know that you can actually sell?
Ah, man, I was selling to my friends back in Mexico when I was like 4 years old with the marbles and all that. But
Nice,
truthfully, I think it was when the cell phones.
Yeah.
It was just, it was all about asking questions and just building that relationship.
Yep.
Clients love to be heard.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I want to say 17, 18 when I knew that it was, I was good at sales, I guess.
Jeez. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You?
Nice. Yeah. No. Same here. I basically started the same way with sales was, I was so my stepdad, he was buying into, or not buying. He was he was a like a supervisor for a lot of these commercial real estate places. So, but he was more of like, not a janitor, but he was more of the company, like the property management.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Property manager. Yeah.
So he wasn't a property manager. He would be the maintenance person.
Okay.
So when these places would go out of business, so like there was places like, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it was Bugle Boy.
Yeah.
So that was a big clothing
exactly.
company,
Yeah.
but they went out of business. So
Yeah.
these places, they would go out of business and they would have to lock them out. And then what they would do is they would lock them out and they're like, hey, get your inventory out. They'd be like, well, we don't care about it anymore because we just went out of business.
Yeah.
So at that point, he would get clothes. He would get there was a tattoo machine in there.
Okay.
So he took that tattoo machine home. He broke into it. And
Side hustle?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, let me get the tattoo.
Did you get some tats?
Yeah. And then so my parents are always like why, like, what are you doing with these tattoos? Like I don't see them anywhere on you. Like, what's going on? But then I would have a bag of change coming from home from school every day.
Yeah.
What I was doing, I would go and sell them for like 25 cents, 50 cents, but depending on what kind of tattoo they were. So if they were like a prevalent tattoo in that era, I'd be like, oh, like, yeah, no, this one's 50 cents because, these are football team, one with
like
the helmets.
NFTs now, pretty much.
Yeah, basically. Oh, man, I didn't think about that. Wow.
Yeah, you
That's
were selling
funny.
NFTs back then.
But yeah, no, I was selling them, and then I would always ask I'd basically, I guess you want to say, I'd be doing a re-up from my parents, like, hey, I need more tattoos. They're like, what? So I would do that.
Wow.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, so I was making decent money, and then I would always be doing stuff like that as a kid. But then when I became an adult, I never thought about getting into sales. I thought sales was intimidating.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't really sell that. Like,
That's
people
what it
selling
was with me,
cars,
yeah.
you're like, oh man, like selling a car sounds hard.
Right.
But then I got into this, so I started with, when I was 17, I started at a call center. I worked my way up, and then they offered me a job to be like, to do sales in like one of their departments for these small hotels like Motel 6,
Okay.
Comfort
Yeah.
Inn, stuff
Yeah.
like that, to offer them room service.
Got it.
So it was like a third party outsourced room service. So I was doing that, and I actually broke records in that company because that company was doing it for about 10, 15 years already.
Okay.
And I was breaking records like every month. They're like, how are you getting all these people in there? And all I'm doing is just cold calls.
Yeah,
and I
cold
was
call,
setting
yeah.
the process. And that's when I started, like when I was doing good, and I was at that age, after I got promoted and everything, I was probably 19, 20.
That's awesome, man.
And
Yeah.
I was making at that age like $40,000 a year. I was like, wow,
You were balling, dude.
40,000,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot of
I was
money,
like,
yeah.
oh man. So, and this was like in 2013, and that's when I
Yeah.
bought my first house. I was like, man,
Wow,
I'm doing
dude.
good. This
That
and
is crazy, dude.
Yeah,
So you bought your first house at what age?
2013. So I was 23.
That's awesome, bro.
23.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
23.
was like 26. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
23, and it was 2013. And the funny thing is, when I got introduced to buying a house, it was in that company, the accountant. The accountant
Okay.
is like, hey, like you're making a decent amount of money, like you could afford a house. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't buy a house.
I don't want a house right now.
I can't. Like I'm
Yeah.
renting a house,
It's
but
when
I
asked
can't.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I can't buy a house. Like.
Yeah.
Like that's a big responsibility. And she's like, no. I'm like, I need a lot of money, don't I? She's like, no. Here. Talk to this realtor. Talk to this loan officer.
Yeah.
They'll tell you everything. So I got with
it.
them, and they're like, I probably had maybe $4,000 saved up at the time. I'm like,
Okay.
Oh man, I have a lot of money, but
Yeah.
I don't want to spend it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially at that age.
Right.
But then they educated me, got me into doing it. And then I was like, okay, cool. I'm pre-approved for 160,000. And back then, 160,000, I was almost about to get a Lennar new build.
Oh, wow.
In
For 160?
160 in Centennial Hills.
Okay.
What's that subdivision that everybody wants in Centennial Hills?
It's not Providence, is it?
Providence.
Oh,
That's when
nice.
Providence
Yeah,
was
yeah.
starting.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's nice.
160.
Providence is
160.
Nice. That is great. I would buy like 5.
Yeah,
Damn.
exactly. But
Now it's,
at
like, now it's like $500,000 just to get one, huh? Probably more, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's-
easy.
wow.
But it was just easy times back then. Well, not easy, but it was.
It was
just-
different.
Yeah, it was different.
it was
And
easier.
Yeah, so I was amazed. That's how I started up. That's how I became and went into sales, and that's where I figured out, oh dang, I'm actually pretty good at sales.
Yeah.
And then I didn't remember that I was selling tattoos until that moment when I figured out, oh wow.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's basically
Damn,
how
that's
I got
crazy, man.
into it, and then I
That's a good story, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Then I got into cell phones. Started
Yeah.
selling cell phones and did that. I became a store manager for a corporate store. But every time I got into a corporate environment, it was just too corporate to me.
Yeah, man,
So-
that's what I did for the last 10 years, and it was tough.
Yeah, no, it's a tough gig.
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
So no, it's
No, that's cool, man. That's good. Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
So you said you were selling copiers?
I was, yeah, but it's not small copiers, bro. I mean, the
Was it
copiers
kind of like Will Smith in that one movie?
but it wasn't my, what's the name of it? Something, not
Pursuit
Purpose.
of Happiness.
Yeah, the Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah.
Oh, that was an awesome movie.
Yeah. So that was exactly me. I was going door to door selling copiers, bro. But these were like big ones, right? So $10,000, $20,000. Then I started selling copiers that were like $100,000, dude. So
Wow.
the commission on that, 3-4%. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Were you doing that here in Vegas or?
Yeah, I was in Vegas first, and like I said, after that, I was doing it for those 10 states, managing the 25 salespeople.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so big quotas, $4 million for copiers, a lot of copiers, dude. I mean, that's
That's a lot of copiers.
yeah. So, but you know what? Doing that, bro, was so good because I made so many relationships across 10
Yeah.
states that right now, most of my clients are from. They send me referrals from San Diego,
Oh, wow.
LA, everywhere.
That's awesome.
And that's
awesome.
yeah. So I would say that job at Rico, which is the copier company, probably turned me into this selling machine, bro, because we took so much.
No pun intended.
That's right. Yeah. So, man. So it was so corporate too. But the sales training, dude, sometimes 5 days, dude, of just sales and sales
Yeah.
boot camps.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the kind of stuff that I know, for
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah,
But
Sprint did the same thing for me. Was they would put us into sales trainings, and these trainings would be at our corporate office here
Yep.
in Las Vegas.
Yep.
And they would put us. They would put us in this area, and then they would train us on how to do sales. We would role play. We would do all.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
stuff.
Yeah.
And it was just at first I was like, this is stupid, but it actually taught us a lot. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And then they taught us how to do managerial stuff, and this is all training courses, but it was a speed training course.
Yeah.
That they teach in college. And I didn't know this until I did all that. So I'm actually happy that I was able to go and do all the jobs that I've done.
Yeah.
Which led me up to real estate. And once I hit real estate, I just hit the ground running. And
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
it just all the pieces. It felt like fell together. It was just wow, like all that stuff that I learned from back then, I implement now, and I'm
all
like,
the processes and everything, right?
Yeah, the whole
tracking, the KPIs, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's
Which a lot of
amazing.
realtors probably don't know what KPIs are.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's amazing, yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
So based on that, so what made you actually get into real estate?
It's a funny thing, man. I wanted to get into real estate back in 2000, like probably 7 years ago, before I got the job at Ricoh.
Okay.
And it's funny because I was telling my wife this last night, and she was telling me, here's the thing, right? Like, if you got into real estate 7 years ago, you probably wouldn't be as good as you are now because of all the training from Ricoh and all the relationships that you built. So I got into real estate in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice,
So 2018, but I was doing it part time, like friends and family stuff,
Yeah.
right? Full time, we just started last year with my team, and we did pretty amazing.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I think it was like 67 transactions altogether.
Jeez.
60
amazing.
million. Yeah. Yeah. So it was cool. It was cool. Really exciting. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is pretty exciting.
So about 3 years, I guess. That's to answer your question.
3. Well, now we're going on 4.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we're
Happy
getting there.
2022, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What about you? Did you get into real estate like in a couple years as well?
So that's a funny thing. So when I was in with Sprint, I bought my house, and then I was like, oh, that seems kind of like an easy job, but I don't know, because I was still young. I was like 23.
Yeah.
And then I sold that house, bought another one. It was a brand new build, so I was happy about it.
Okay.
That one was like right near Providence, which is out like northwest Las
Northwest
Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah.
So that house, I was like, man, that realtor did an easy job, because I kind of found the house, this and that.
When you say an easy job, what do you mean by that, Josh? Like.
So that's funny you say that, because I always have a lot of clients. They'll say the same thing, like, Josh, like,
what do you
show
do?
us houses, like,
what do you do? Yeah.
But what I can tell you is that he did help me.
You don't have to say names, and I know you.
Yeah. No, he did help me when it came to like the new build. So back in the day, it wasn't too far back. So it was 2016.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to negotiate blinds, because this was from a builder.
Okay.
So he was able to negotiate blinds.
So the upgrades, huh?
Upgrades, all this, right?
Okay.
So he took it that one step, and the new build's like, oh, well, we'll give you black appliances. I'm like, no, I need stainless steel.
Yeah.
Like, no. And they're like, oh, well, and back then it wasn't really a crazy market how it is today.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like trying to play hardball with me, and I'm like, no, I'm not buying. Well, your house is under contract.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll just go rent.
Right.
I put them under pressure. So
Okay.
they, so they came back a day later. Okay, we'll get you the stainless steel.
So was that
with the
you?
blinds.
Was that you, or you sell?
So he pushed those items, and then I just upped it a little bit more.
I think it's when you knew that you were a great salesperson, dude.
Yeah, and
like,
that's when
I can do this.
Yeah, and I was like, oh wow, like it was that easy, and that all it was. And I'll tell you today is all it is, and what it is with everything in either sales or if you want anything in life, ask.
Yep.
All about the ask.
That's right.
If you ask, so my motto is, the worst thing that you could tell me is no, it's not gonna hurt my feelings.
But why not? Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell me why no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you say no, I'm like,
you.
okay, cool, I'll back off. But I'm not gonna. If I try it and it happens, hey, I got something out of it.
Yeah.
If I didn't try it, I would never know.
Somebody else will get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then, for me, it's like same thing, right? So it's 90-10. So client talks 90% of the time, 10 for me, right? So it's all listening for me. Yeah. So that's kind of same thing. Yeah. A lot of questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna be a realtor. So it was probably a couple months after that, I bought my real estate course online. I was like, oh, it's only $300. Oh, easy.
Right.
And this
I'll
back
ace it.
Yeah, this was back in 2016. Or 15 or 16, one of the two.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, cool. And what did I do? Just like everybody else, procrastinated, just didn't do it.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I just didn't do it. Like I bought the course. I probably did a few videos.
Yeah.
And then I just left it on my laptop and just.
Yeah, forgot about it?
No, I just didn't do it. I just didn't do it. And then I came into a point in my life where with the last company I was with Sprint, and not to talk bad about them or anything, but it was more of the corporate feeling of it, which was at that time I was 26 or 27.
All right.
And I was coming up to be, the next door manager, all this. I was like, cool, I'm gonna get my own store, I'm gonna do all this.
Right.
But then the problem, what happened was, I kept getting beat out. But my numbers as a salesperson, as an assistant salesperson, they were the highest in
So it was just
Las
politics,
Vegas.
bro. Politics?
Yes.
Yeah.
And every time I was in corporate, it was always politics. And I always get beat out. And
Seniority or something, right?
Yeah.
By somebody that
Yeah.
doesn't have the same numbers or
Yeah.
same skill set, not even.
Yep. And so I got upset. I got, that's the same thing that happened to the other company. That's why I went to Sprint.
Yeah.
And then same thing happened there because I felt that ceiling and it was closing in on me.
Got it.
And I just I didn't like the feeling. So I was like, you know what? I want to start my own business. I don't know what it was. And I've been saying that since I was probably about 16 or 17 years old, which was, I want to start my own business. But and everyone asks, what was it? I don't know. I just don't know.
I think we all go through that.
Yeah.
It's just, it's normal.
And then that's when I found real estate. And that's when I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to dive deep. This is a goal that I'm going to do and nobody's going to stop me. And that's exactly what I did. And my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, pushed me. So some days I was like, oh, I'm going to take the day off. No. You're going to do this.
That's
You're going to
awesome,
finish
man.
this.
Yeah.
And we were only probably 3 or 4 months in and she was already pushing me and I'm like,
that's great.
Yeah. And I'm like damn, okay, cool. But it pushed me to that limit. I'm like, okay, I can do this. And I'm not a school person.
Yeah,
I'm not a school person at all.
So let me ask you a question. Did you fail the test?
I failed it 3 times.
Same here.
3 times?
Yeah. So the national one was I passed on the second time, but the state was 3 times. So on the 4th time I passed it. And it was only 50 questions, but it's harder than the national one I think.
Yeah. I failed the state 2 times. Yeah, on the 3rd time I did it.
Yeah.
I failed the state 2 times. I passed the national on the 2nd time.
Got it.
So I just had to go back one more for the state. But the state and the national is hard because it contradicts each other, with the laws.
Yeah.
So some of the laws will say, oh, go and do this.
Because all the states are different.
Yeah, and then Nevada's like, no, don't go and do that.
Right,
or the national will say, hey, you can't represent both parties. But Nevada's like, yeah, no, you can represent both parties.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's the Wild Wild West.
Exactly. So that's what got me. And I'm like, wait. So I had to go buy a Nevada book and do all that. But I'm glad I passed it.
Yeah.
Spent a little bit more money than I thought I would.
Yeah, same here, like $100 every time.
Yep.
It's like, I can't go back now. I got to pass it.
Yep. So so I basically passed. I finally passed the test after getting pushed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was still at Sprint at the time, and I passed the test in November, and I'm like, man, I need to get into real estate because I know I could sell a house. This is not hard. Yeah. I can do it. So I got on a team in November, and on my off days, I would come into the office, do cold calls.
Okay.
And I'd just get to it. I'd be making, the team that I was on, they were generating leads. I was calling the leads. I was on top of everything. I'm just like, I was fighting for it.
Yeah.
But what happened was in December, I was breaking everything down. So I'm like, okay, so here's all my bills. I had a Subaru STI at the time. And I'm like, oh man, so my bills were probably a good $4,000 or $5,000 with the house, all this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I had to do too.
And I was like, you know what? Let me condense down and go down so I could go up.
Okay.
And so I had that car on the lease. It was $2,000 to return it.
Okay.
And then I found a friend that had a BMW. It was an older one that he was selling for $4,000. So I'm like, okay, how am I going to do this? I have money, but I need that money for real estate. I need to stack my money up.
Right.
I was like, you know what? Let me do this. Let me get a loan from the credit union because credit unions are really cool and they're lenient.
Good. Yeah.
Very lenient. And what I mean by lenient is I was like, hey, this BMW is $6,000, but I was actually buying it for $4,000.
Yeah.
I was like, and that extra $2,000.
You were negotiating already.
Yeah. And that with the extra $2,000, I could pay off the STI and then give it back and then take over the.
That's
they
awesome.
gave me the loan. That's exactly what I did. So my wife, she had a house. I had a house. So her house is a little bit cheaper. So we're like, hey, let's move into your house because we were living at my house at first, and then she had tenants. We kicked them out.
Got it.
Moved into her house, a little bit smaller. We still live there today. We're actually looking for a brand new house this year. I can't
nice.
wait.
Nice,
But
man.
so yeah, so I took a home equity loan out, rented my house. So with my home equity loan, it was like $1,700. Found a tenant to pay $1,750, which paid everything. So I was only making $50 a month.
But they're paying it off.
Yeah,
which
they were
is-
paying for it, and with the equity loan and everything. And I took that equity. It was $25,000. So I told myself, I'm like, look, I'm taking $25,000 out, and this was started January. I'm quitting my job.
Yeah.
And this $25,000, it's basically my budget is $5,000 for the next
5 months.
5 months.
5 months, yeah.
And if I don't make it within that time frame, I'm going back to a normal job.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I did too.
And
I added up all my stuff, exactly the same thing. And then I was like, added everything up. Okay, 5,000 a month. I need to make this. I have 10,000 left or whatever, you know, and that's exactly, I think that's how everybody should do it, by the way. Have like a good 6 months, I would say, right? 6 months of all your expenses and get into it, whatever it is that you want to do, a business, real estate, anything, right? A side hustle, started, you know, a couple of hours a day, and then just move up to 25 hours, 30 hours a week.
yeah.
And when you feel that you're making more than what you're bringing in from the other job, that's when it's time to execute. Get out.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. So, and the crazy part was I did exactly that, but what set the foundation for my, no pun intended, what set the foundation for my real estate business was I still didn't sell anything from December, and then I got the home equity in January, which didn't fund until February. I didn't sell anything in January, February, March, April, June. But what I was doing every single day, Monday through Friday, sometimes on Saturdays, was my wife, she works at a mental health facility, so well, not a facility, at a doctor's office.
Got it.
So she's like the GM of it. So she does all of that. So what she had to do at that time was she had to wake up around 5:30 every day.
Okay.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up with you. I'm gonna make coffee, and I'm gonna start my day.
Yeah.
It's exactly what I did. So I set the foundation. Okay, so this day I'm gonna do this, 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 this. I set my whole schedule. What was the most discouraging thing was people in the team, they would get a lead. Oh, it's a seller, or oh, it's a buyer, and I'm like, so frustrated because it's like, you just got on the team 30 days ago and I've been here 60, 90 days.
So why were they, what was that all about?
Luck of draw.
Politics or?
No, luck of draw.
Wow.
And I would meet with the team leader, and the team leader's like, dude, like he was amazed himself. He's like,
was it like
I
a
don't
round
know.
robin type of thing?
Yeah, yeah. So it was round robin. So it was luck of the draw.
Yeah.
You know, and what
Which
basically,
I don't like that.
Yeah. So basically, what for the viewers, what round robin is so if there's like 5 people, it will it doesn't go in order. It's just like either it would just like drop in order, or you would have to go and capture the lead, or do something like that. So that was so that's what it was. So it was just luck of the draw basically.
Wow.
But by May, I already had clients lined up, doing things. By June, I closed 3 deals.
Oh, wow, in 1 month.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so basically the ROI paid for everything. And then...
So let me ask you a question, Josh. I'm sorry to...
Oh, you're good, you're good.
So why do you think that you went those 5 months without selling anything?
I like that question because
I know it's a tough one.
But
at the same time, this is great for the viewers because we all get stuck in some funk.
Yep.
And it happens all the time. So I think it's going to be great.
So with me being stuck there, and what it set me up for was I felt a lot greater than anything else, because if I was basically given those leads, or if I was given that round robin, would my energy be the same as it was down the line? Because they were getting the paycheck $7,000-8,000, and I'm like, just
from nothing to something, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what you did right there, yeah.
But then when I was like, you know what? So I fought through it. And that it actually built character. It helped set my foundation.
Yeah.
Because after that June, I was selling at least one house per month, which was my first year.
Okay.
But the first month, 2 two the next month, and then one the next month. So it was
You
scattered.
built all the systems and all the clients from those 6 months to basically start. You planted the seed, and then you harvested after those 5 months.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what I did, and yeah, to this day, I would not take that back because it helped me mentally. Through the struggle, it helped me, set the foundation for my actual business, to set up my website, to set up my Facebook, my Instagram, to go out there and just try and actually do the things I said I was going to do.
Yep. Accountability. You gave accountability.
Self accountability along with discipline, and that's exactly what it taught me. And here I am today. My first year I only sold, it was, I actually don't know how much like the volume I sold, but I made $60,000 my first year. Okay. And usually with realtors, this, but the viewers might not, is within the first 6 to 9, so the first 6 months, I think the stat is 70% of realtors drop out. Okay. And then a higher percentage, then it goes from that to, I think it's like 90% of realtors the 9th month. 12th month, you still have like 95% drop out after 12 months. Yeah. They're going to do it part-time, whatever it is, because like it's tough.
It's tough, it's really tough, And I know that, I think the average too, most realtors make $35,000 a year, right? Yeah. I think that's like the average, right?
Which is because I actually had to talk with the broker the other day. Yeah. And he told me like 6 deals per month is the average for Las Vegas.
Per year.
Per year.
Yeah, per year.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I said month.
That's you and I.
Yeah.
6 deals per month.
Yeah. I'm like, and it blows my mind though, because it's like, I don't know. I would think, I'm not that money hungry, but it's like I like to live life.
Yeah. It's just the activity that we put in. Yeah. That's what happens. Yeah. Yeah. Even though we're not chasing the money. Yeah. It just comes with the territory or whatever you want to say. Yeah. With the activity.
And that's I like that. Not chasing the money is that's I think that's what made me also successful was I was doing it for my clients and not for the money. Because if I was chasing the money, my customer service wouldn't be there. My whole business service would not be there because of that. So, I figured that out in business, like throughout the jobs and everything. It's like, okay, don't chase the money, chase the clients, make the clients happy. They refer solve problems. Yeah. And what happens is once you start doing that and figuring that business out, it actually creates more money. Yeah. Yeah. And so that's basically the concept that I've gone through. So yeah,
cool.
So that's why I got in real estate, and I like selling houses. Yeah, I never would see myself do that at all. It's like, oh, I want to sell houses and stuff like that. But then actually learning about real estate,
there's so much to it, right? I thought it was gonna be just selling houses, but no. That's like actually probably 10% of the real estate job or career. It's selling the houses.
You said 10%? I would say 10%.
Because remember, investments, rentals, flips.
Well,
courses.
Well, more than that, like behind the scenes, because that's what a lot of people see is just the actual you're just showing me a house and writing an offer big whoop, like I could do that too, but you have a license.
Scheduling, right? The making the calls. I mean, there's so much
making
that goes
calls,
to it,
scheduling,
mapping them.
Yep, keeping up with the clients, and then paperwork, doing the paperwork, knowing the paperwork,
liability too,
all that. Yeah, and then how to negotiate. So it's bigger than just putting it on paper. It's calling the agent, talking to the agent, building rapport.
So when you say 10% is probably just selling the house, right? And
then actually showing the house.
Showing the house, exactly.
So because I don't go in there and be like, oh, look at this granite countertop. Oh, look,
this was imported from Italy.
This sells it. This sells it. No,
this is 2,400 square feet.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. And if you're doing it, right. It's good. It's good. If it works for you.
Yeah, if it works for you.
If it works for you, keep doing it. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, no. I go in there and they'll go in there and ask, I can let them know my opinion. They're like,
Yeah.
you know, they want to know if it's granite. Yeah, no, this is granite or this is quartz.
Yep, yep.
But I don't go into detail. Like, yeah, this is a fine rock. It has imperfections in
I
it.
paint the living. How they're gonna be using the house.
Yes, that's
the
what you
best.
got.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the selling portion
Can
of
you
it.
picture yourself over here by the pool or
Yep.
grilling over there or whatever the case, watching the game?
Because you listen.
Yeah.
You got to listen
Yeah.
to your client.
Exactly.
You know, because that's what I do on my first showings is like I'll take them to I learned probably off of 3 houses. So my clients are like, oh, this is perfect for grilling, and I'm like, mental note,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, this is where our furniture is going to go, mental note. So then once we see more houses. I could just bring it up to them like, hey, like, you know, this is where you could put the barbecuer.
Yeah.
Oh, this is what you could do with this, you know.
Exactly.
You know, oh, how big is your bed? Oh, okay, you could probably fit it here.
Yeah.
With the TV, you know. So that's you got to paint the picture. That's perfect. Yeah, not
That's
like
exactly what I do too.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we feel like we're giving you guys a lot of value and a lot of information on the first episode, but
Yeah. So let's also discuss that one deal that we did together.
So this is how Josh and I met.
Yeah.
It's a deal that I had. Client reached out and they wanted to list their house, but it needed a lot of, actually a fourplex. I'm sorry. It was a fourplex, so
which is
four-unit
a
apartment.
small apartment complex.
Yeah, so 4 units.
I think he still hates me to this day, but
yeah, he just showed me it. And I'm like, dude.
yeah, I'd send him updates.
I'm still upset.
And he's like, awesome, and back in mind, like, this guy.
I know. Yeah, I might buy it from him. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, so the client reached out. They wanted to list it, and I told them exactly what they can get for the property in the open market. They decided that they wanted to explore investors as well.
Yeah.
And that's when I reached out to actually a couple of people, right?
Yeah,
and
you posted on Facebook. And I was like, and I saw it, and I was like, I was intrigued, I was curious, I was like, hey.
Yeah, it looked good, right? I mean, the area.
Yeah, you sent it to me, and then I was like, all right, let me go check it out. I looked at it, I was like, decent condition.
Yeah. 3 bedrooms, which is
3
hard to
bedrooms.
find, yeah.
Each unit is 3 bedrooms, which is that's hard to find. 3 bedrooms in each one. It was like almost 1,100 square feet per apartment.
Yeah.
And then it had like a nice, decent sized backyard, which was originally conjoined for the whole complex itself. So once I saw that, I had an idea that came to mind.
Yep.
You know what? I was like, you know what? I want to buy it.
You created value right there.
Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I want to buy it. And he's all like, okay. So I was the 3rd buyer, which I'm still upset about.
No, you were the 2nd one, dude.
So was
Leslie was the 3rd.
Yeah. But no, for that's that. So I was the 2nd buyer on it.
Yeah.
And it took some time. But
it
still
was
got
fast though. It was fast. Yeah.
Well, I'm saying take time because you're like, I'm gonna sell to you, and then like a couple days later, I was like, I'm getting a fourplex.
Somebody
and then my heart was like racing. I was excited, and then he would just pull it out my chest, and then I'm like, no, and then a day later he's like, nope, put it back in there, and then he did it one more time, and then I'm like, all right, no, for real, are you selling it to me or you're not? And he's like, yeah, no, for real, this time. All right, so I put the money in escrow, and we actually purchased it. We renovated the whole place. So
speaking of that, you have some before and afters, by any chance?
I only have afters.
Okay. We can save that for the next episode.
Yeah. We'll save that for the next episode. We'll put that, use the TV screen and stuff like that. I have some other questions I want to ask in regards to like other things when it comes to like real estate and stuff like that. But the building came out nice. Crazy part is I got the appraisal actually back today because I'm doing a refinance on it.
Are you gonna tell us how much it was, or is it for the next episode?
Actually, you know what? I might just say it for the next episode. That way you guys can see.
We'll go over the numbers for next episode. How much the purchase price, the loan, how much it was.
Because what we'll do is we'll pull it up on Google Maps. Because if you look it up on Google Maps right now, you're like, damn, that thing is ugly.
Right.
Why'd you buy it? I actually had the tenant tell me, she's like, oh, why don't you demolish this thing and just build a new one? I'm like, lady, like, you know how much that costs?
You don't understand.
I don't have deep pockets.
Wow. Why do that when you're already getting such a good return on it?
Yeah. So
at a minimum.
What's that?
You know, at a minimum cost.
Yeah.
Like, you know, besides like instead of building it. Yeah.
But that so we'll show you guys what we did on it.
Yeah.
What it looked like before on the outside, what it looks like now on the after.
And then the numbers.
And then the numbers with the purchase price, renovation, and then what the appraisal came back at. Since I'm refining it, it's a little bit different. If I sold it, because I would probably sell for close to $1 million, but would it go for $1 million? Who knows?
Dude, no way.
I don't know. But I'm refinancing it.
Yeah.
But no, keep up with us. You know, we have a lot more things that we're going to talk about.
There's a lot we're going to be talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, more value. I would say if you guys have questions in regards to like how do you buy properties, or want to give us topics to talk about, please give us topics. That way we could tell the listeners, tell the viewers. We can also show the viewers as well. We'll try to describe it a little bit more for the listeners, but check us out. Subscribe on our podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Keep up with us on social media. We'll have our links and everything at the end of this video, so that way you can follow both of us. Keep up with us on our day-to-day. So
thank you guys. Is that it for today?
Yeah, so that's the Foundation of Greatness, episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. More to come.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you guys and hearing you guys next episode.
Please comment and give us some questions, because we would love to answer those questions. But in the meantime, we'll just we'll have a lot of topics to talk about. Also have some guests on about within the industry of like Las Vegas and real estate and everywhere. So stay tuned. A lot more to come.
And if you have a deal, send it to us.
Yeah, please.
Yep.